Okay, so I thought that we would address this since it's something that actually just happened to me again today. And I'm not an expert on anything, so this is just me wondering out loud what's going on. So, I hope the wind doesn't pick up because then it's going to wreck my microphone. So, today, and I'm sure everybody has done this at some point, I'm just standing at work doing my normal thing and I realize it's the exact same area, scene, picture of a dream that I had probably 2-3 years ago. And I think everybody has done this once or twice in their life. For me, it actually happens a lot. It used to happen more, but you know, still pretty frequent. And it usually is several years ahead of time. When I was a kid, I had a bunch of them, and then kind of as I grew up, would be like, hey, I remember this place. I've seen this place before. I know where I am. This is the exact same thing. I'm talking to this person. I'm in this place that I didn't know I was going to be in 4 years from now, but I am, and I understand what it was now. And it's never usually anything very important. It's not foreshadowing or any kind of prophetic, mind blown, oh, I know what this means now. It's usually just mundane stuff. And it's really odd because it's very random. Like I say, there was absolutely nothing special about me being at work at 11:37 on a Monday. But it was exactly the same thing that I had seen before in a dream I had 2 or 3 years ago. So, and in fact, a lot of my dreams have been very, not necessarily vivid, just they come with a lot of strange stuff in them anymore. And then I have nightmares about work, but that's something different. But I did have a dream the other day that my hair was going completely gray. And on the surface, that just sounds like, oh, you're worried about getting old. You're worried about getting gray hair. But I do have this dream index. And it's kind of old. I think this was published in, I'm going to say, 1984. So it's kind of old. But, and so not necessarily very up to date about modern stuff. But in this, if you look it up, gray hair symbolizes some stuff about somebody's gonna die, and it's like, oh, well, that's great. Also, to be fair, this book is very heavy-handed on the somebody's gonna die thing. It's kind of like taking tarot way too seriously. So, a lot of it is bad. And not necessarily very insightful about other meanings, and I don't really want to think about people dying. But that was just one dream that I had that stands out. So, to be honest, I've been obsessed with my dreams ever since I can remember. And they used to be a lot more confusing and just emotionally enveloping, I guess, when I was younger. And I would wake up and I would just wander around for days, just still having this emotional toll on me from whatever happened in this dream. And it's not necessarily that anything bad happened in the dream. It was just, you get the feeling like sad or whatever it is. Usually a lot of odd feelings when you're in a dream, and then you think about it again and you get the same feeling, and it kind of just clouds your emotions. It's very overwhelming and overpowering. But as I said, when I was younger, and still now, I sleep a lot because I'm super depressed, and so I see a lot of weird things. And oddly enough, if I'm blackout drunk, I'm not gonna have a lot of cohesive dreamings. And usually people are like, oh, I get drunk so that I can sleep, but I can't sleep when I'm drunk at all. So usually it's just crazy, and then I wake up and throw up, so that's not very helpful. But, and it'd be helpful for anybody who wants to kind of research their dreams and then figure out in the future whether they've seen them or not, or what they mean to keep a dream journal. I'm terrible at it. I used to a long time ago. I had like 3 entries and they were all really weird. And the thing with my dream journaling, when I do journaling, is that I go back and I look through it and I'm like, well, none of these things actually mean anything to me now. And I don't really make the connection. I don't really connect the dots on whether it was important or not, even though I thought it was important at the time, then I wrote it down. So that doesn't really work particularly well. I did just want to mention that because, as I said, I just had that weird flashback deja vu thing where you think, hey, I've been in this situation before. Oh, no, wait, it was just a dream. So, honestly, I wish they were easier to study and to understand. And I like to think that when you're dreaming, well, only about good dreams, not about nightmares. When you're dreaming that you are actually astral traveling / going to another dimension of some sort, and that you're actually interacting with these people, and these people that you're talking to actually exist and know who you are, etc. Except for the nightmares, I don't want any of those places to exist, and I don't want any of the stuff that happens to exist, so we're just gonna say, oh, well, that's in your mind. But honestly, if you think one does, then the other probably has to too. Just don't intentionally go to nightmare worlds. So it kind of ties into the rest of my spirituality and believing of different realms and planes and etc., where there's many people that you just inherently know. That's another thing, is that sometimes when you're dreaming and this person comes up to you and you can't see their face, or you don't know what, they're just a shape, they don't even look like themselves sometimes, but you're gonna know exactly who it is right then. And this has happened many, many, many times, and I'll come out of it and I'll say, well, I was with so-and-so person in my dream, but they looked really weird, or they were a girl and they're not a girl in real life, or they were sometimes animals, not usually. You know, so this person I've never seen before, but I knew it was you. And that's really odd too. And I don't know if that's your mind's way of just telling you something. I don't know what it's telling you, but it's trying to tell you something. If anybody has any opinions about that, that would be great. I honestly feel like I need to do a more overarching bit of research and bit of just investigation on this entire dream theory, and kind of try and figure out some more stuff about it. Other than this book. This book's okay, but as I said, it's kind of dark sometimes. So, that is all for today. Hopefully a bit of a happier topic since last video. I hope everyone is doing well, and if you have any input, go ahead and let me know about it. I would love to know. It's one of my favorite topics. I will see everybody again, possibly not tomorrow. I'm working all day tomorrow. Soon though. I'll see you soon. Mwah.